today I figured out some very, very exciting news. If you can't see right here, Weston Pease, Kansas. That is my Kansas archery deer tag. Yeah! If you can't tell, I'm beyond excited for this one. We're gonna be going to Kansas this coming fall to do a little bit of archery bow hunting for some giant whitetails. Now, we haven't been there in 2 years. We try to go every other year and put in as a group, me, my dad, and a couple of his buddies. So this coming fall was one of the years that we were putting in to get our tags drawn. And you know, sure enough, we got our tags drawn, and I could not be more excited. We're headed to Kansas this coming fall. So a little backstory, last time we were in Kansas, I mean, we saw a ton of deer, a ton of bucks, ton of does. We saw coyotes, we saw squirrels, all sorts of stuff. And we did see some pretty big bucks. I actually had a shot at probably one of the biggest bucks I will ever shoot and screwed it up. I completely shot over his back. You know, when you're shooting a bow, you're practicing your 10, your 20, your 30, and your 40. You know, you don't really ever practice a shot straight down out of a tree stand. And you know, it was my fault because you should really practice, I guess, every single shot, which I'd never thought there was gonna be a, I don't know, 160, 170 inch deer standing right underneath my tree stand and literally shot right over his back. So the crazy thing is I actually told Emily before I left that I'm gonna shoot my biggest buck on Halloween. And sure enough, we had a giant cold front when we were down there. It actually snowed, freezing cold morning. It was the first actual cold front of the trip since we had been out there. And you know, it just felt like one of those mornings where you're gonna see a really good deer and hopefully get a shot at one. So sure enough, around 8:30 or 9, a doe comes busting out right towards my stand. And right behind her was this giant buck. I mean, it was coming through the brush, and I kid you not, this thing was having to turn its head sideways to be able to get through all the trees. It looked like something on the Outdoor Channel, like you'd see on a ranch or something. It was just absolutely crazy. So it chases the doe right to the base of my tree. The doe's standing right underneath me. He ends up pushing her off, replaces her right up under my tree. So I mean, this deer, I'm looking straight down at this deer, finally circles around and then starts coming back underneath my tree again. I mean, it wasn't but a 5-yard shot. I slung the arrow and shot right over his back. But it's one of those things you really don't think about in the moment. At least I didn't. When you're shooting straight down, the arrow doesn't have time to start dropping. It just stays high. It's not like you're shooting flat where the arrow kind of arches and goes up into the target. I mean, it just stays high. You're shooting straight down, and nicked right across his back. The funny thing is, I had, I think, 4 pins, I had 5 pins, and I switched it down to 4 pins so it wasn't as confusing. So I had a 20, 30, 40, and 50-yard pin. And I actually had a 10-yard pin, and I took it off just because I wanted to be able to focus on that 20-yard pin before the trip, which I should not have took that 10-yard pin off. And I would have probably had a 160-inch deer on my wall right now. But that's where we're headed this fall. I got my tag in the mail like I just showed you guys, so I'm super pumped about that. I'm gonna be filming the whole entire experience because I want to share it with you guys. But that's a little look into the future, I guess, into this fall for you guys to get excited about, because I know I'm excited about it also. So I'm gonna be sharing that with you guys. But currently, we're about to go walking up in the woods. Apparently my brother found some chicken of the woods, and I also have to do a little bit of trout stream scouting. But I'm gonna hop out of here and go try to find this, and then we'll see what the rest of the evening has in store. Good old wine berries. We've actually picked a bunch of these and we're making some jam out of them. We picked black raspberries, we picked some wine berries, and then we also got a bunch of blueberries. Oh my gosh, that one was sour. We also got a bunch of blueberries from our bushes in our backyard, so we're gonna probably make a little blueberry cobbler, something like that. But usually with these berries, we make a bunch of jam, put them on biscuits, pancakes, whatever you want, and it is so good. Well, I've been looking around for a pretty good minute, and I cannot find chicken of the woods. that turned into an unsuccessful trip trying to find some chicken of the woods. I'm trying to be kind of quiet. I got my windows down and we're in the big buck spot. So it's a big power line cut out. It goes all the way down, I guess, to a wooded thicket. I pulled it up on Onyx last year and it conjoins right up into public land. So I'm gonna wait for it to get a little bit later. I got my binoculars with me and I'm just gonna kind of see what comes out. Last year I was doing a little bit of road biking and ended up seeing a bear cross this power line cutout. If I can find the video, I'll insert it right here. But while I'm waiting for it to get a little bit later, look at this. There is a ton, and I mean a ton of wineberries. So I'm gonna pick some of these to pass some time. I don't really know where the heck I'm gonna put them, but these are gonna make some awesome jam. And I'll just keep my eye out, see if something pops out, and see if we can't get some footage of some whitetail deer this evening. Dude, there's so many berries. I gotta find something to put these in. There's also poison ivy everywhere. That is not good. Look at this. I hit the mother load. This bush is absolutely freaking covered with wineberries. I have nothing to put them in. Look at this though. This is the jackpot. The holy grail of wineberries. You know, the best ones are the ones that are tucked up underneath the bush that nobody sees and you gotta squat down and find them. Those are the big ones, the Mac Daddies. I didn't pick as many as I would have liked. I heard a deer blow right over here, so I'm gonna get back in the truck, kind of lay low and see if I can get these deer to pop out so we can take a look and see if there's a big buck mixed in there, because it sounded like a pretty big deer that blew at me. Probably gonna come back and pick the rest of these berries though, get Dad to come out here and help me, because there's a bunch. We can definitely make a couple good batches of jam. But we got a deer mission going on. We gotta see if we can't see a big old velvet buck. Get our eyes on something to chase after this year. All right, now we wait. I'm about to die. It's freaking hot, sweating. We got the old Crocs on, the Good Luck camo Crocs. Oh yeah. Now we just need something to pop out right down there on the power line cutout. Well, that was the first deer of the night. Just a little, looked like a yearling, but I can hear some other animals. I'm not sure if it's deer or what, but they're messing around in the leaves. I can hear them to the left. So hopefully they'll cross over before it gets too awful dark. There's another deer that just popped out down there. I'm trying to figure out what it is. I don't know what the crap it was. It ran straight across. It looked like a bigger bodied deer. It could have been a buck, I'm not sure. Yeah, it came sprinting across. I don't know if something scared it or if it was just on a mission and already knew where it wanted to go. But that's deer number 2. I might have got it. I'm not sure. As soon as I hit record, it was pretty much all the way across to the other side of the power line cut out. But they're moving. They're going back and forth. That is a good sign. That was pretty cool. That big doe, she was right on the road. Not a bad evening. We saw deer, we just didn't see any big bucks. So I guess that makes 4 deer, 5 deer actually. Not bad at all. But I'm gonna head back to the house now while we still have a little bit of daylight left and sling a couple arrows at my target, because I gotta start practicing a lot. We ain't missing the deer in Kansas no more. It's going down this time. It is going down, boys. Well, that is what we're down to, an engine sitting on a dirt bike stand. I'm not sure if I've shown you guys, but that is actually what's left of the first dirt bike that I ever got. Is actually for my 9th birthday. And I've had it ever since. I guess I've had it for probably 15 years now. We bought it brand new and it needs a complete remodeling. So a lot of the rubber pieces are dry rotted. It needs a new chain sprocket, new wheels, tires, and actually the frame, which is right here on the dirt bike. Let's see if I can pick this up and show you. So it's got surface rust. It's got it all up underneath this piece, all along right there. This is actually where the back tire goes, if you can imagine that. And right here, this is where the exhaust would clip in, and it's got just a lot of surface rust, which I don't like. It's not good. And I was just gonna buy pieces for the bike to get it back together and running. And I could have done that. It would have been the quick, the easy way, but you know, I'm one of those people, if I'm gonna do it, I might as well do it right. So I'm gonna actually get this frame powder coated and completely redo the bike and get it running again, because it's been sitting for probably, I don't know, 2 years. So, I mean, if you can imagine, this is the front tire. The front tire would go right there. It would have the handlebars sticking up from that. So the seat would be right there, the exhaust back there, and then there's the back tire. But I mean, we're just down to a bare frame. And then the rest of the bike is in this box. So there is the swing arm, you got the front forks, handlebars, all that goodies. I mean, it's pretty much a bike in a box. And then over here is the engine, there's the tires. So I'm gonna document me putting everything back on. I took some pictures when I was taking it apart. It was actually a headache, and I really hope that I can put this thing back together. I've never done this. I've never tore a bike down this far. I don't really know much engine stuff, but I know how to take stuff apart. It's just a matter of, can I put it back together? So that's the issue we might run into. But I took pictures the whole entire time as I was taking it apart, so I can look back on them and kind of see how the electronics go, how pretty much all the bolts and everything go back in. So we should be good there. Fingers crossed. I gotta order a bunch of parts tonight to get this thing back to running condition. We also have to get the paint and powder coating and everything done like that. But if you guys couldn't tell, it's actually the next day. I'm about to hop into the old Tacoma and head back over to that spot where I was looking at those deer last night and see if we can't get our eyes on a velvet buck. So I'm gonna wrap this video up here. Make sure, if you haven't already, to please subscribe. Leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it, and we'll catch you guys in the next one. Love y'all.